Yo, hoop fans! Your sideline sage, Tips and Upstreams, is lacing up once again. On deck, deep dives into the freshest NBA clashes, ready to set the planks ablaze. But before we jump the ball, be sure to hammer that subscribe on our YouTube channel to keep hooked with our sharp forecasts and prime selections. All right, let's bounce into today's NBA crystal ball reads. The first prediction for today is for the game between Milwaukee Bucks and Indiana Pacers. As the Milwaukee Bucks and Indiana Pacers gear up for a crucial Game 3 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the tension is palpable. The Bucks, having split the series' opening games, are entering this showdown with key players potentially sidelined due to injuries, including stars Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton. Their journey thus far has been a roller coaster, clinching a decisive victory in Game 1, only to stumble defensively in Game 2, conceding 125 points. Conversely, the Pacers made a striking comeback in Game 2, unleashing the potent offense that was somewhat muted in the first game. With Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner at the helm, Indiana displayed their command of the court by sinking 55.6% of their shots, including an impressive 44.4% from three-point land. Examining the statistics, Milwaukee's scoring difficulties in Antetokounmpo's absence are evident. Their playoff scoring has dipped to an average of 108.5 points per game at a 45.7% shooting rate, a noticeable drop from their regular season performance. Their defense also leaves much to be desired, allowing 109.5 points on 47.5% shooting, particularly struggling in away games. In stark contrast, Indiana has shown more consistency in their scoring, averaging 109.5 points with a 47.5% shooting accuracy in the playoffs. Their home games have been formidable, bolstered by averaging 47.5 rebounds and 29 assists per game, underscoring their synchronized team dynamics. Historically, the Bucks might have the edge, but recent matchups this season tilt in favor of the Pacers, who have clinched 4 out of the last 5 encounters. Indiana's home court resilience and their capacity to exploit Milwaukee's current weak spots, especially with the potential absence of key players, could tip the scales in their favor. Moreover, Indiana's performance at Gainbridge Fieldhouse has been particularly strong against Milwaukee, a trend likely to continue given Milwaukee's struggles on the road this season, evident from their 18-22 away record. The injuries only amplify Indiana's advantage as the absence of Milwaukee's top players diminishes their offensive and defensive capabilities. Meanwhile, Indiana's key players, including Siakam and Turner, remain in peak form, providing them a significant advantage. After scoring their season low, Indiana rebounded to their characteristic style in Game 2, and returning home, they are set to leverage the energized crowd as their sixth man. Milwaukee's inconsistency was exposed once more in Game 2, and now it's up to Doc Rivers to devise a strategy to counter Indiana's pace and muster sufficient offense to support Damian Lillard's efforts. It seems the veteran Bucks may struggle to match the pace and youth of Indiana, prompting a prediction in favor of the Pacers pulling ahead in the series. Given the home court leverage, current momentum, direct confrontations, and injury impacts, it seems likely the Pacers will not only win but also cover the set spread, with the total game points potentially surpassing the 222.5 due to the defensive challenges Milwaukee faces on the road. The second prediction for today is for the game between Los Angeles Clippers and Dallas Mavericks. On a buzzing Friday night at the American Airlines Center, the Los Angeles Clippers clash with the Dallas Mavericks in a crucial Game 3 of the NBA playoffs. With the series tied at 1-1, both teams are geared up to sway the series their way. The Clippers are hungry to bounce back from their narrow 96-93 loss in Game 2 and regain their stride, while the Mavericks are eager to make the most of their home court edge. The Clippers' offense faltered last game, managing only a 36.8% shooting rate from the field and struggling from the three-point line, hitting just 8 out of 30 attempts. Despite scoring 22 points each, Paul George and James Harden couldn't steer their team past the early deficit. Russell Westbrook, having an off night with only 22% from the field, exacerbated their challenges. Now facing a tough crowd in Dallas, the Clippers' resilience is tested, especially their knack for rebounding strongly after a setback, a situation where they've historically shone. Meanwhile, the Mavericks are riding the momentum of a hard-earned win, highlighted by Luka Doncic's stellar 32 points and Kyrie Irving's 23. Despite only shooting 42% overall, their defense tightened up crucially, keeping the Clippers below 100 points. Although they're missing Tim Hardaway Jr. due to an ankle injury, the Mavericks have consistently delivered gritty performances even without key players. A deeper analysis of both teams' recent form and their encounters at the American Airlines Center reveals significant insights. The Mavericks have a strong home record, especially noted in their recent matchups against Western Conference rivals. Their knack for thriving under pressure and utilizing the home crowd support could be key. Conversely, the Clippers are known for their resilience on the road, especially after a defeat, marking them as tough contenders. Their frequent visits to the free throw line and their efficiency in converting those opportunities have kept them competitive even when their field shooting falters. Their skill in securing offensive rebounds offers them vital second-chance points, crucial in tight playoff scenarios. Both teams' recent performances and season stats indicate a slight edge for the Clippers in the field, free throw efficiency, and their defensive strength in limiting opponents' scores. However, the Mavericks' superior three-point shooting and home court advantage pose a significant challenge. Injury-wise, the Mavericks might feel the pinch without Hardaway Jr., while the Clippers boast a fully healthy squad, providing them with a depth advantage. The stakes are personal for Doncic, as the Clippers have been his postseason nemesis. Now, as the series shifts to a best-of-5, the winner of Game 3 will seize a psychological edge, though a split in Dallas remains a possibility in what promises to be a closely contested series. Expect Clippers coach Ty Lue to have strategized adjustments, while Mavericks coach Jason Kidd will be rallying his team to maintain their defensive intensity and rebounding despite Daniel Gafford's possible absence. In conclusion, the prediction leans slightly towards the Clippers managing to cover the bookmakers' generous 5-point spread, reflecting their proven ability to tackle challenges and their track record in similar playoff situations. The third and last prediction for today is for the game between Minnesota Timberwolves and Phoenix Suns. Tonight's NBA action centers on the Footprint Center, where the Minnesota Timberwolves and Phoenix Suns will clash in Game 3 of their opening round playoff series. Minnesota is currently ahead, holding a 2-0 series lead following their decisive 105-93 victory in Game 2. Now, the scene shifts to Phoenix, where the Suns are backed into a corner, facing a critical must-win game to avoid slipping into a perilous 0-3 deficit. The Timberwolves are showing formidable strength, propelled by a balanced offensive and defensive strategy. Jaden McDaniels shined brightly in their last match, netting 25 points. Minnesota's defensive game has been stellar, keeping Phoenix below 100 points in both contests. Their ability to tighten the screws in the second half, outscoring the Suns by 13 points last game, underscores their resilience and strategic depth. Despite a three-point shooting percentage that could use some polishing, their solid field goal percentage and robust defense have more than made up for any lapses in scoring. Conversely, the Suns, despite being favorites with stars like Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, have struggled to hit their stride. Booker, who scored 20 points in the last game, has yet to fully tap into his playoff potential, especially with McDaniels giving him a tough time on defense. Phoenix's home court advantage tonight is pivotal. Historical stats reveal they've won their last 6 home games against the Timberwolves. A review of the last 5 Suns versus Timberwolves games in Phoenix shows the Suns not only winning, but also covering the spread, a testament to their comfort at the Footprint Center. Although their playoff scoring average dips to 113.2 points, their superior shooting accuracy over Minnesota could be a game-changer tonight. Minnesota's record on the road in the playoffs has been dismal, losing 13 of their last 14. Paired with Phoenix's urgency to keep their playoff hopes alive, this might shift the balance. Phoenix has also shown superiority in rebounding in recent games, an essential factor in controlling the game's tempo and reducing second-chance points. While the Timberwolves have been on a roll, the transition to the Suns' home turf, coupled with their historical edge, hints at a possible shift in momentum. Phoenix's efficient field shooting and slight rebounding advantage, especially with the high stakes of avoiding a 0-3 hole, makes them the likely favorites to win and cover the spread tonight. Although I've been skeptical of the Suns throughout the season, especially questioning Bradley Beal's impact, Phoenix's return home could level the series. Booker needs to step up and match Durant's intensity for this to happen. If Beal becomes more influential on both ends, and Gordon steps up, the series could head back to Minnesota tied. Despite Minnesota's depth, My bet is on Booker and Durant snagging their first win of the series this Friday, with Phoenix likely covering the spread and securing a victory, suggesting a tight scoring game with total points likely falling short.